Here is Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 2, titled The Kingsroad. This is an episode, usually I start these with thematics, but let's just call it like it is. This is an episode where we learn that Prince Joffrey is a little shit, and he's gonna be the setup for the worst villain ever. And here's a kid who is a coward and he lacks empathy. And that's the evil handbag. And if you read a book on evil, there's this book on evil that talks about what evil really is narcissism and laziness. And laziness is a form of cowardly, where someone doesn't confront their conflicts. And lacking empathy is a form of narcissism because you are stuck in your own ways. And Joffrey, who in the first episode we see from afar and seems like maybe a cute little blonde kid, but then we learn that holy shit, this guy's fucking bad because he's a coward and he doesn't care about anybody except himself. The whole conflict with the second episode where the daughters have a conflict with Joffrey, and Joffrey's gonna tell people about it, and it's setting up like in episode 1 where Bran gets thrown from the tree by the Lannister brother, and then it's going to set up. So this is another level. So it keeps getting more and more as you're watching the Game of Thrones. Remember, I come from this from totally an outside perspective. I don't know the books. I'm just watching it from a television show perspective, an average fan perspective. So you're seeing this like Stark and Lannister situation going to run afoul. And if you're going to call black and white, or you're going to call good and evil, the Lannisters are evil and the Starks would be good, except that we kind of like some of the characters. So Bran recovers from the fall. He doesn't die like the brother thinks that the brother wants him to do. The mom thinks the Lannister are involved. And the next generation, like I said before, are starting up this shitstorm between the Starks and the Lannisters, who seem to be friends for centuries according to the show. We learned that Tyrion, who is the dwarf, the self-described dwarf of the episode, maybe is the only sane person from the group of the Lannister clan. The only one who has like kind of like empathy and logic behind him, where he doesn't just talk from his narcissistic emotions. He joins Jon Snow and his uncle and Jon Snow's uncle on a voyage. So he's gone while all this Stark and Lannister stuff is going on. And in the other world, we're learning that Dany is learning how to have sex, because we're seeing that her warlord husband that she was forced to marry, they're not having really great sex, but then she's got to learn how to like pleasure the man so then she can kind of get her way later on. But Dany's a good character. Dany's probably the only moral soul character, as we're going to learn. Ned Stark and the king, so Ned Stark, who is the Stark father, the king, they're good buddies, but they need to solve these matters. And this is kind of like what's interesting about the show, is that these guys, if they get rid of their egos and they get rid of their like courtships and like they're sitting on the throne, if the king kind of looks at things from a good perspective, he can solve all these problems with the Stark. And this is what's gonna this is the problem. It's like lack of communication between these two guys who are talking on the surface but not really talking about things, because he is the king and there's that they may be friends, but he's way ahead. There's still that power situation that's going on, which power will be the theme of season 2. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You're talking about two men who respect each other but are not communicating properly, because there is this power capitalistic venture between the two of them, which is going to cause a lot of problems down the line. That's my 2 cents.